the line, exquisite beddings to give you that great night's sleep because you have earned it. And soft, comfortable towels for your bathroom. And in the living room, we have high-definition TV sets of all sizes, unique aerial rugs, classy curtains in all the colors you desire, wall paintings of different sizes and colors, furniture, and everything you can think about for the home. All that at unbelievable prices. We even have low voltage, high quality washing machines and dryers to keep your clothes fresh and new at all times. As a bonus, we have fashion accessories for both the young and the old, designer quality bags, hats, and rare jewelries. So if you love yourself, your family, and your home, it's time to treat it right. Visit Home Sweet Home on Benson Street between Center and Buchanan Streets for that needed upgrade. You can call them on 0886 834 944 or 0770 581 420. Home Sweet Home, for the love of a classy home.
Where you dey go? Where you dey find?
Why they ask me that kind of question? Say where I dey go? Where I dey go? I dey come. You don't hit my car.
You Menju, why you walking and talking all by yourself so?
My sister, the car business are really thinking about so to get car in this country is really not easy. Since I put in for my cars and other goods, it is almost 1 year I can't get anything.
But it says stranger who always asks don't miss their way. Haven't you heard about urban used cars and auto parts?
You mean urban used cars and auto parts?
Yes, urban used cars and auto parts is 100% Liberian-owned business. With urban used cars and auto parts, you can purchase your new cars, used cars, and all cars parts directly from America for an affordable price. Urban used cars and auto parts can also help you ship your parrots, your boxes, containers, and other goods from your relatives abroad within just 4 to 6 weeks.
Wow, this is a good news. Where can I find urban used cars and auto parts?
If you are in Liberia, urban used cars and auto parts is located Fish Market, Tottenham Boulevard, Monrovia, Liberia. And in the USA, 220 10th Street, Brookhaven, Pennsylvania, 19015, United States of America. You can also visit their Facebook page, Urban Used Cars and Auto Parts International, or call cell number +231 887 012218.
Thank you for this information. I am visiting Urban Used Cars and Auto Parts to begin the process of my car and other goods.
Urban Used Cars and Auto Parts. Our goal is to allow Liberians have access to buying things from America without being cheated.
Mama, who takes care of development in our country?
We all do, my baby. You see, every time we pay our taxes, we are taking care of our country, Mama Liberia. Taxes help provide clean water, safe communities, and jobs for our people. When you pay your tax, Liberia grows.
Be proud, be responsible. Pay your taxes for a better Liberia. Pay tax, we all enjoy.
Mama, who takes care of development in our country?
We all do, my baby. You see, every time we pay our taxes, we are taking care of our country, Mama Liberia. Taxes help provide clean water, safe communities, and jobs for our people. When you pay your tax, Liberia grows.
Be proud, be responsible. Pay your taxes for a better Liberia. Pay tax, we all enjoy.
A pleasant good morning. Welcome to the OK Morning Rush here on OK FM 99.5. My name is Fatu Kamaa. I'm here today up to 10 o'clock. What's coming up? Shortly, we will take the fact check. And right after the fact check, we'll be back and talk about some of the important issues around the country people are talking about. Up to 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, we take our first guest. And it's going to run up to 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock, our second guest sits in up to 10 o'clock. And then we call this a day. So stay with us. Don't touch your dial. So we're going for the fact check to be right back.
This segment debunks disinformation and provides the verified facts of statements made online and on the radio. On June 25, a supporter of the former ruling Coalition for Democratic Change, Eric Pevest, claimed in a Facebook post that President Joseph Walker suspended the Director General of the Bureau of State Enterprises, Arthur Massaquoi, due to the disclosure he made during a MICAT press briefing about rampant corruption within the state-owned enterprises. To support his claim, Pevest included a video clip of Mr. Massaquoi speaking at the Mika press briefing, in which he is heard saying that many SOEs are plagued by mismanagement and the misuse of public resources intended to serve the Liberian people. To verify this claim, we reviewed the press release regarding the suspension of Massaquoi on the official Facebook page of the Executive Mansion, which revealed that President Walker suspended Mr. Arthur Massaquoi based on alleged malpractices under him at the SOE and not in response to public comments made at the MICAT press briefing. Based on a review of the release issued by the Executive Mansion, we conclude that a claim made by Pevest that Mr. Arthur Massaquoi was suspended because he spoke out about corruption within SOEs is misleading. Since the launch of the ArcelorMittal's concentrator plant in Nimba County, many online sites have been sharing photos of the plant, claiming that it is the largest in Africa. The same claim with the photo of the concentrator plant has also been shared on Facebook, Instagram, X formerly Twitter by Africa Facts Zone, Africa Global News, a LinkedIn account named Waki Seed, and many more. According to ArcelorMittal, its recently dedicated concentrator plant in Nimba has a production capacity of 20 million tons of iron ore per year. To fact check these claims, we searched and found many publications that show that the Sishen mine, operated by Kamaa Iron Ore, a South African mining company in which Anglo American has about 70% ownership, has a larger production capacity than the plant at ArcelorMittal. These publications show that Sishen Mine has a dense media separation plant which has a capacity of 28.1 million tons per annum, and a G plant, another with a production capacity of 21.6 million tons per annum. The dense media separation plant is where most of the high-grade runoff mine is treated, while the G plant is where most of the medium runoff mine is treated. Based on this, we conclude that the claims that a concentrator plant at ArcelorMittal's operation site in Nimba is the largest in Africa are incorrect. Though the ArcelorMittal's concentrator plant in Nimba is among the largest in Africa, it is not the largest of all. On July 25, the Township Commissioner of Gardnersville, Dio Hemin Elliott, claimed in an interview on ELBC that the Township of Gardnersville is not included in the national budget. Mr. Elliott made the statement while highlighting some of the financial challenges the township faces, particularly in undertaking major development projects. Gardnersville is a township within the Greater Monrovia District in Montserrat County, Liberia, governed by its commissioner. It serves as both a residential and administrative area with a blend of urban and peri-urban communities. To fact check Commissioner Elliott's claim, we reviewed the 2025 national budget as approved and published by the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning. Our search confirms that the township of Gardnersville is indeed not captured in the national budget. Based on the review of the 2025 national budget, we conclude that the claim made by the Commissioner of Gardnersville, Dio Hemin Elliott, that the township is not captured in the national budget is correct. This is all we have time for on the Fact Check segment. This segment is part of an MOU between Local Voices Liberia, OKFM, Prime FM, and Care Radio to counter disinformation to help the public make informed decisions. This MOU is funded by the Liberia Media Empowerment Project, implemented by Internews with funding from the European Union. The funder or partner had no say in the editorial decision, leading to the production of this Fact Check segment. We will be back on Monday with more Fact Check reports to help you know the facts. If you want us to fact check a claim for you, please send us a text or WhatsApp on 0777 556 296 and we will definitely check for you. Also follow us on Facebook at Local Voices Liberia, Twitter at LVL Fact Check, and go to our website www.localvoicesliberia.com. My name is Olivia Bowen. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.
And thanks to our friends from Local Voices Liberia for the fact check here on OKFM 99.5. We want to say welcome back to the OK Morning Rush. So we take a look at some of those following the broadcast this morning. Clarence R. Bro is watching. He says good morning. Jefferson Z. Thompson is watching from Zizo. Is it Zizo or Nizo community? Whatever it is, Painesville City. That's Painesville City. Adama Lamin Toure is following. He says he's watching from Lagbasi, West Point community in Sinko. Scholastic Aquila Samusa is watching. He says good morning to the peace-loving people of Liberia. I'm watching from the embassy of Foya near Monrovia Chicken Soup Factory. Mohammed F. Jabate is watching. He says good morning Fatu and good morning to the people of Kwado Boni, District 4. It's following from Claratown Community, District 14. Progressive Joseph Smith is watching from Telecom Community. With God all things are possible. CC Dixon says good morning OKFM. He's watching. Eric Smith is watching. Says he's watching from 72nd Junction Rescue Mission. Okay. The Moscow Moses Nonga says good morning Fatu. I'm watching from my home. Thank you for watching. We continue. Opio New Johnson is always watching. Abraham T.K. Hollow says good morning. I'm watching you from Chicken Soup Factory. Johnny Coleman Senior says good morning. I'm watching from the office of the Rescue Defenders on Center Street. Good morning to you and thanks for following. Benjamin Kanabo is watching. Ephraim B. Wallace says he's following the broadcast. Philip P. Body Senior is following from the city of Barclayville, Grand Crew County. Pee Wee Bishop Pekin is watching. He says good morning. I'm watching from my NPA office. Nicholas Bismarck Doe is watching from Monrovia. Opio Neil Johnson says good morning Fatu. I joined the conversation from Doe community. Okay. Preston Atia is watching from Wood Camp, Painesville. T. Samuel McGill is following the broadcast too. Netompe is watching. He says he's watching from Gunter Satan in Nimba County. Preston, okay, we've taken that. Emmanuel Testimony Quia says he's watching from his immigration office. Jerry Kamaa is watching from Burrillville. Samuel Amicable Rejoice Kind III says, good morning, I'm watching from Caldwell, New Georgia. Titus L. Wooler is watching from Cape Mount. Good morning to you, Titus, from the office of the Superintendent of Cape Mount. Gayflow Harris Jr. is watching. He says, good morning, madam. Good morning to you. Menko Cecile is watching from Boston. Thank you. Christian Segbe is watching. He says a pleasant good morning. That's Joseph Colley says he's watching from Kakata, Magibi County, and so we cannot take the names of all of those watching the broadcast this morning. Pinma is watching. He says he's watching from Sunny College View Community. Aplos Small is watching from Paco Pinzio City. Alaye Bima says good morning, I'm watching from GSA Road. Dennis Weah is watching from Lynch Street. Our Jackson is watching from District 1, Carisburg, Monterrado County. Alexander Sami is watching. Patrick Say Wilson is watching from Greenville City, Sano County. Evangelist Abraham Dukle Koha is watching from Mamba Point Community or CRD Road. Dennis Weah is watching. Okay, we've taken that. And thanks to all of those watching the broadcast this morning. So I'll read two of the stories we carried on our news program last night and this morning, and we just talk a bit about what's happening around the country and why it is interesting to talk about. So several former and current officials of government, including Foreign Minister D. Maxwell Kamaa and GSA Director Mary Bronson, to jail for allegedly stealing rice intended for the poor. The several and current officials of government, including Foreign Minister Maxwell Kamaa, GSA Director Mary Broad, Tema Sawyer, and others, have been indicted on multiple crimes. The defendants were arrested on Thursday, June 26, and taken to Criminal Court C. Investigation conducted by the Asset Recovery and Property Retrieval Task Force accused them of misapplying more than 25 kg bag of rice donated by the government of Saudi Arabia in April 2023, and it was also established that a total of 29,412 bags of rice were placed in the care of former director of the National Disaster Management Agency, Henry Williams. And this is happening concurrently with some suspensions taking place. So President Joseph Boakai yesterday suspended the head of LACRA. President Joseph Boakai has taken firm action in response to serious allegations of financial and administrative improprieties at the Liberia Agriculture Commodity Regulatory Authority. In two separate communications dated June 25, 2025, the president suspended Mr. Christopher Sankolo, Director General of LACRA, and Mr. Chie B. Gale, Deputy Director General for Administration and Finance. The suspensions are effective immediately and will remain in place pending the results of investigations by the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission and an audit ordered by the President to be conducted by the General Auditing Commission. As part of the interim management arrangement, the President has designated Honorable Dan Tokamawon Sahid Senior as Interim Director General of LACRA and Honorable Adolphus Fokpa as Interim Deputy Director General for Administration and Finance. And the suspended officials have been directed to immediately turn over all institutional properties, assets, and responsibilities to the newly appointed interim leaders. President Barker reiterated his administration's zero-tolerance policy on corruption, affirming that all public officials will be held to the highest standards of integrity, transparency, and service to the people. So, this is the same thing we have been talking about. A lot of times we talk about this and people think you just want to talk because there's nothing to talk about. Okay, this is the trending issue and nothing else to talk about, so you must talk about it. But this thing is not just about the rice, or it's not just about the people or the individuals involved, but this is a critical test of Liberia's commitment to accountability and the rule of law. So somebody gives you a role, somebody gives you a responsibility. The president entrusts in you a responsibility to take care of the Liberian people. And this is, like food for the poor. You listen to our news, food for the poor. And all people can do is, to misuse the opportunity. Why? I mean, they have now been convicted of whatever, investigations are still ongoing into the case or the situation. But this is not something new. And this is happening, like I said, it is happening concurrently with the suspension of several government officials by the president. One of the things I wanted to talk about, and I think is important, is the trust or the confidence now of Liberians in the people who serve them and the people who work for them. So at first, when we used to listen to Center's Corruption Perception Index, you will hear a lot of times it is the police that's corrupt, the police. And recently, the police and the legislature, right? But now it has gotten to the judiciary. If care is not taken, that perception will start reporting that almost every sector of government, is perceived corrupt. And we know what the effect or what the impact of that perception is. Lack of trust in the people who serve them, in the people who work for the Liberian people. And you know what lack of trust in people who serve you means, right? So somebody said, I can be in a country and, people who are deemed qualified for certain positions are not even qualified for that position when it comes to morality, when it comes to, being transparent and being accountable in their duties. And then they give people jobs while others are sitting. They give you a job and you think, okay, I can just do whatever I want to do. Do you know the effects of this information? Is that people perceive that every sector in a country is corrupt. People do not trust the system anymore. People do not trust their government. And the other day I was talking about the justice system, the police. When these people are the people we should be running to, or Liberians should be running to when there are issues, and they deem these people as corrupt, you know what that means. People will take the laws into their own hands. People will do things the way they want to do it. And sometimes we wonder why people leave the country and they go, they don't want to come back, they run away in the US, they run away in other people's countries. Because there's a problem with the system. why we applaud the government or the president for some of the steps taken. But let's talk about the impact of these issues. Right? Trust. The issues of trust and confidence in the people who work for you. You see mob justice around. People just do anything, anyhow, anyway, anytime. And so whoever they want to do it to. Because they know the person side will go, the person we run into, the person is even, more of a lawbreaker than I am. And you know what that means. Somebody cannot run to you anymore. Somebody does not have trust in the system anymore. So the next time another consignment of rice is coming into the country for poor people, Liberians, especially the poor people, already have the perception or have that belief that it is not going to be shared the way it's supposed to be distributed or for the purpose intended. So I hurt my head. There are just a lot of effects, but impacts on the country at large. The issues of reputation, our reputation outside there. What other partners who want to donate or help Liberia, especially the poor people, the underserved population, what do they think? Okay, I'm sending so and so amount of 25 kg bags of rice to Liberia to help certain number of people. But then a handful of people just sit and do it the way they want to do it. Right? And I saw Liberians still, I always say, some of the problems, I just think that we are the cause of some of the problems. I see a lot of people talking, trying to protest or trying to cause chaos and supporting some of the things that the investigation of some of these people or the arrest of people who are being investigated and causing problems around here. This is an issue, an old age issue that needs serious attention. Corruption is entrenched. It is almost everywhere. And the country, the government is trying to find a solution, and we still want to fight. And sometimes we think that we have said this thing all around that this whole justice system, it can only work against the people who poor. It can only work against people who are not in positions. It can only work against people who do not have influence. And work in the favor of those who are in positions, those who are famous, they have money. But it's a different case now. The fact that people who are deemed as political leaders, as mentors, as role models, as people who are rich or have fame and are famous around here, they have influence. The fact that these people will also face the rule of law just as the poor people, it shows that we are moving. We're making some progress. But then if we start to influence, as citizens start to influence the process, then there's a problem. And we will be the same people who will say, our perceptions. When Center collecting their correction perception index report again, will say, okay, the judiciary corrupt. They came they can prosecute or bring to book people who are famous or people who we call quote unquote big people. Only we, the poor people, they can run after. We said this a lot of times, but the narratives is changing. So now we will sit again and say the judiciary, they are partial. They are partial in their investigations. They are partial in whatever to do. We sit and say the police is corrupt. In fact, the police is partial. When you go your case, the way the outcome of some of the cases say you will not understand it because I don't have money. I can't make it. Right? But the system is changing. And we see that. We applaud that. But what is the impact of this? That people who work for you, those who are in public offices, 4 persons lately have been suspended. 4 persons have been suspended by the government, by the president. This is becoming serious. It's becoming serious. And Liberian people need to these people be brought to book to account for some of their actions. And we hope that these things do not only stop to suspensions. After investigation, they must pay for whatever they've cost Liberians. And so if this was how things, have been happening, I'm sure by now we've gone a long way with the fight against corruption. Why it takes time, but I'm sure if this continues, these people, whenever there is any allegation against you or there are any issues with transparency and accountability or financial misapplication or whatever, you be suspended and brought to book and account for whatever you did. I'm sure with these things, when we continue, if the country continues on this path, we will make some progress in the fight against corruption in Liberia. And then this issue of corruption perception, it will drop. Like we've seen, the perception, it has dropped in as much as it is still high, but the level has dropped as per the years, right? So in 2023, it was high. 2024, it dropped. So I'm sure 2025, if these things continue, that perception is going to drop. So I'll open the phone lines in the next 8 minutes so that you can form part of this conversation. The issue of trust, the issue of confidence in people who work for the Liberian people. What is the impact of these things on the Liberian people? Yes, we've talked about what the president has done. We talk about the people and how they're corrupt, but let's look at the impact on Liberians. What does this mean for Liberians? What does this mean for the country's image out there? That the leaders are corrupt. And it is now cutting across every sector. The perception now is that it is cutting across every spectrum of the society. We take our very first caller. Good morning, caller.
Yeah, good morning, Fatu, and good morning to Liberian following this broadcast. This is Elijah Chi Kamaa. I phoned in from a Teshko number 10 resident this morning to be precise on his manual.
Okay, let's hear you.
Yeah, Fatu, you are very right. And Fatu was a bit too relating for the president to say my podcast. Every morning when I listen to or when I see people with high prestige, being arrested, going to jail, and all those things, it shows that the law is there for everyone. Whether you are poor, you are rich, whatever position you have found yourself in, that whatever you steal from the people, we don't want to be using the word anymore. Whatever you steal from the people, that you will be prosecuted.
Okay.
So I'm very happy this morning. I'm happy. Thank you, President my brother, for the step against corruption or for the fight against corruption. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Let's take this one here. Good morning.
Good morning, Fatu.
Good morning. Let's hear you.
Lahaji Sone, and I speak to you from Renaissance Headquarters in District 14, Montserrat County.
Go ahead.
Thank you very much, and let me appreciate you for the vitally important talking points this morning.
Yeah.
But specifically, my attention is drawn to two talking points, and the first one has to do with the decision by the president to suspend some of his officials who are allegedly involved into acts of corruption.
Yeah.
I think, like you said, it is a right step in the right direction, but he should go beyond suspension, make sure that these people should be thoroughly investigated, and if found guilty, whatsoever that they took which does not belong to them should be restituted, and besides that, they should go to jail for their action. That's one. Two, the issue that has to do with, the access coverage thing about bad government officials is something good. Especially my attention is drawn to the former, CSA. I remember your boss parents interviewed that lady and the way she sounded.
Yeah, she said she was not going to go. They said, and she was caught by the
people will feel they are above reproach in this country, or this country is for them. So if you have done something wrong or something is about to happen, they invite you, you have to go there and provide the necessary answers to the question that you'll be asked. Don't pretend that this country is for you. This country is for Liberians. It's not for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And like I was saying about the impact of these things. So now you as a leader in the country, somebody, the asset recovery invites you for questioning and you say, I can't go. Do you know the impact of that on Liberians? So the asset recovery will invite even a commoner for whatever reasons, and they say they can go only because you yourself, you say you can go. That is some of the things we've been talking about. And you expect the government or the asset recovery to go and grab that person, because the person is a commoner or the person is not as influential as you, to grab the person and throw the person in prison. But you say you can't go. You can misapply some of the public funds or public resources. And you think you should not be arrested only because maybe few people benefited from it, or you big quote unquote you big person in the country, and you think if somebody or who we call Zogo can't steal from you, they should be arrested and taken to the prison. What's the difference between you and that Zogo? See the impact of some of these things? It goes a long way. It goes a long way. Good morning.
Fatu, good morning.
Good morning. Let's hear you.
Fatu, James Yankwe from 2 Street. Fatu, the Harris William man was talking about for the disaster management thing. Fatu, those time that man was whipped on the pool for the stealing business. Check the man record. That man, I'm not lying on him. Some men do all that men put on the boat for the safe stealing. So they will bring that man to be managed. But the jail metro first eating baby food. Metro mail. Because the rent is there for us. And we say poor people we who can afford. Well, the poor important people, they say no. New buy a metro mail, but they baby free, I need to eat it. They say, feed your babies. We would have can't afford them. You have the mirror brother here posting for over the place. Look at what happened during the time of my Eden regime. We had 3 days free court. People who advocated for 3 days free court to be court at the end of going married in France. I don't call the guy. When I can't agree, he advocated that 3 days they can be assessing. We won't call it. So they call all that thing they get on megaphone. So we the common people, so we can only use megaphone before we can go to school. With you the young man, if you can't take megaphone when you graduate from high school, you can't take drugs, you gotta take megaphone. If you can't take megaphone, then you gotta be so good. So that the 3 options those men put all in. And you see the result of it. So now people saying, oh, the event people someone wanted to go in protest. There's something happening to them.
Okay.
Something happening to the Liberians.
Okay.
Some of them.
All right, no problem. Thank you. Good morning. Let's hear you. Good morning.
Good morning, Fatu, and good morning to the peace-loving citizens of our country, Liberia. This is the voice of Lasana J. Masale, commonly called Herodotus. I joined the conversation from Jamaica Road, Town to be specific. Fatu, thank you for the topics on our discussion this morning. Let me thank President Joseph Newman Boka for his own decisions in taken. You know, corruption is something that when you're working, you have to be very careful because if you don't have the because if you are corruption and you are not guilty, you know, you have to bear the consequences of it. So actually, when you're working, any ministry or whatsoever that the president has appointed you to work, you have to work with due diligence. So let me commend him for that. And all those that bear that will be found guilty, they must bear the consequences of the law. Thank you so kindly this morning, Fatu, for offering me the time.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's hear you. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Okay.
My name is Rala Doe, calling from 9th Street.
All right.
I want to appreciate the president and even you that initiating the discussion for the step taking. You know, for long, the country has suffered corrupt practices that led to the citizens and in a very poor condition. And my concern here is this. There should be press conferences to explain in detail issues leading to this suspension. I'm not talking about the people for the asset recovery area because they are documentation that they were involved in other things. But if you listen to the suspension, you will hear that a corruption issue and then the administrative malpractice. We have seen other people in this regime who were involved in other malpractices administratively that were given chance to willingly resign. For example, Don Koboff. It was very clear here that Don Koboff got involved in academic malpractice, which is also criminal. And then Don Koboff was given a very longer period of time to resign by himself. But the Sankolo, I do not know Sankolo, and just put this on record. The man was just on radio giving the progress made by his entity. And then from the website of the executive mansion, the suspension information was released. So I'm thinking how long it takes for that investigation as to whether the man was even aware or even approached that there was issue concerning him. So other people who can be very speeded and other they drag and then giving them the time to do whatever they want to do. So for me, I don't want to call the president and support his government and support the actions. It is meant to save all the poor people. But let it be done across the board and let no one and no shoe the other people. I believe that if this information read the president on time, he will act. But the people and then delay and someone shoot him until today he have to resign when we're good record resignation. But we know that it should not have been resignation. It should have been suspension or dismissal because they were engaged in a criminal act. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your opinion. Good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Let's
say. Fatu, Kamaa.
Oh, Fatu. Oh, good morning, Fatu.
Okay.
And good morning to the entire OKFM family this morning.
Good. Let's hear you.
Thank you this morning. My name is Fatu. I'm from Financial. Let me appreciate the president for the kind of steps he are taking. And also, let me encourage the president and the entire government also to create an anti-corruption code to fast track most of the cases. You know, Fatu, suspending these people for time to come up, because suspend you automatically know most of you will not come back. And if they are suspended, we need the case to be fast tracked. When this case is come to a logical conclusion, the family is made new to the public, then the Labrador will see some recipient in the present decision.
Yeah.
But the few courts who have, they have a lot of cases. We cannot be overwhelming the court with cases. Then, which one the case that will fast track now? So I'm encouraging the president, asking the entire government, the legislature more especially, they are responsible to establish code. Let us see how to establish an anti-corruption code now in this country. You don't have to do corruption cases.
Okay.
So, yeah, so that's my recommendation this morning to the president. And let me appreciate him for the kind of step he take.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. We just continue with the course. Our first guest will be here by 8:15.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm hearing myself. Yeah.
Madam Fatu Kamara, thank you for the show this morning.
Good morning.
This is Moses Donyipan calling from Ashburn Street.
Okay.
Yes. I like the analysis you're trying to give on the situation that is ongoing now. Like, for instance, people who are poor, poor people.
Yeah.
Look at our villages and towns. And people will be in government that can afford to buy a bag of rice. To go and undermine and deny our people such an opportunity. The very first time when Carol Jackson interviewed Madam Bro, I felt that she was the bull that couldn't be taken. Because according to, even they repeat that, when you listen to her, you say, oh yes, good.
Oops, we lost you, and I like the analysis from the point from which you're speaking. This is what I'm saying. I'm just looking at the impact. Like I said, we've appreciated the president yesterday. A lot of people appreciated the president, and they, talked about the individuals involved. But today I'm looking at the impact on the nation, the impact on the perception of the citizens, the impact on Liberians, the poor people. It goes a long way. People will not trust the system. They don't believe in their leaders anymore. You talk inside, the people know you're lying, right? And then corruption perception index, it will continue to increase because the people think everybody is caught across every spectrum of the society. And then when it comes to the rule of law, people will not even want to respect the rule of law. And you'll see a lot of mob justices around here. You will see a lot of protestations and chaos. And you see people refusing to even attend to, police, whatever raids. They will not go there. And you see Zogos around here, they still, somebody won't arrest them, police won't arrest them. They will resist. But you expect that you should not be arrested because you're a big person, but the Zogo should be arrested only because they took your phone? You see the problem? So, people who shield these people who support these people when they are being investigated or taken to prison or whatever for the actions or because of their actions are the problems in the society. Because you don't want them to face the rule of law. You don't want them to face justice. But you want somebody who told just your slipper to face justice. It's wow. It's hard to describe. Right? Justice should be in favor of nobody. It should cut across despite or in spite of whoever you are or whatever you do in the society. As long as you go against the rule of law, you should be punished for it. This is what we say. Good morning.
Good
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let's hear you.
My name is Wilbert Wade, and I'm somewhere around the Rotterdam Bill. Look, Fatu, I'm grateful this morning that we are in an era where the justice is prevailing for everyone.
Okay.
People do not understand the legal proceeding. I'm not claiming to be a lawyer, but usually when you get a court and the ball is not far in time, the best place the court can hold you until as a pre-trial detainee is up each. It's very applied to everyone here. Liberia should be celebrating that we have a government that is taking the law as it is.
Yeah.
They are not cherry picking. I don't know what people saying. People being targeted, and the other report being implemented. I think that report came out 2023 before the election.
Yeah.
All right. So this government audit report will come that the president is suspending people. When you get an LACC, an indictment is brought against you, you have the right to go before the court and answer the charges that are against you.
Yeah.
That's the law. We are happy today that the precedent here is if you are given a government job, it's not just to handle it anyhow that I will beat my way through the legal system, but you will answer, and that mentality that Liberia is an elephant meat will be dropped because a price that is given to you as an employee, work within your budget. Don't steal money that is meant to benefit the public. Because you will answer. There's a new sheriff in town called Joseph Yima Bwaka, our political Lazarus that died and came by the life according to other people. In fact, my way of working in the community has changed. I'm working with pride for there's someone that will transform the country. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Do you working with pride? You put your shoulder up. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Fatu. I'm Rufus Toase. I'm calling from Slipway Community. They say it, Maserado.
Rufus Toase, what's up? Long time. You around here?
Yeah, we arrived our lake on observing things and I saw things from full.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you for the topic this morning. While it's true, it is laudable for issues of corruption and embezzlement to be exposed. But for some of us, it should not be selective. When they have monkey start to snap the subordinate monkey, it should not leave out the monkey with the red tail. Up to date, what is the report on Minister Grigsby? Okay, from the onset of the government, the embryo stage of the government, there was allegation of some embezzlement of money. Up to now, we are not getting that report.
Okay.
So it should not be a selective justice. It should not be a witch hunt to get other people out of power and replace them with countrymen or tribal people. Thank you for the show.
Thank you. I like that. Let's take this one. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Sis Fatu, and good morning to the Liberian people. My name is Matthew Mayam. I'm calling from Bannerville, Maryland Central Community.
Matthew, let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you, Sis Fatu. I just have a question for we, the Liberian people. What we want as a Liberians, what we want, if we say the people corrupting and no action have been taken, we complain. The allegation have been leveled somebody. Look at him as a yesterday. You know what the Liberian recording that go around. Official, police officer. What we want, they say the people found guilty, go there and clear your need, that's all. If you fall back, we can't pass. I mean, you're not my wife, who come for me? If I do anything wrong, they will come for me. What we want in this country is safe I do. Why we keep embarrassing ourselves? We don't want to go in front. Let us go in front of Liberian people. Don't start bagging for people. What we don't eat, what we don't know about, don't not bag for them. Let them go clear their own safe I do. Thank you for the opportunity and
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's hear this caller. We are expecting our first guest at 8:15. I hope he be here. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, you're live. Let's hear you. What's your name? Hello? Okay. We cannot continue with you. We have other callers on the line, so we skip this one. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, this case for the calling for Oro.
Okay.
I want to know what are the asset recovery is only for the past government official or present government official included? Because on the
But the present government official then is suspending it, so
but the suspension is not enough because when you are prosecuting,
yeah, that's what we should be saying. But when you say now people targeting, past government officials, now current government officials are even being suspended, and some of them
they should also be arrested, not to be suspended. They should also be arrested because if you are saying you are recovering assets, and the present government, there are people from the very beginning of the government, there are people that allegations have been leveled against about the same corruption, and they are not being arrested. Only the past government officials have been arrested and been sent to sub-beach. So if asset recovery is doing justice for the Liberian people or to the Liberian people, let them come up with one person that they are arrested, that have been suspended, that Joseph Baga has suspended and have been arrested, have been sent to sub-beach for waiting for investigation. There's none. Only the past government official. They are only suspending the current government official, but it's no arrest. There is no arrest of the current government official. So I just want to know that you are my sister. Maybe you have an idea on that. Whether that only past government official can be arrested and be sent to sub-beach, and the current government official is not part and parcel of the also arrest. Only suspension. I want to know that. Thank you very much.
Okay. So that's it. Good morning.
Good morning, Fatu.
Good morning. Let's hear you.
Thank you. This is Zach F. Bembo, and I call from Cardwell. Look, Fatu, I just like to commend this government. And I want to say to you, President Bouaka, they already say you sleepy. So when people are asleep, they don't hear what people are saying to them. In your sleep, continue to deal with those people who are stealing from the Liberian people. Don't listen to people who are so confused around here, defending people who are stolen that we are holding accountable to give what they are taking from us, and people coming to defend and say, go to present government, past government, whether you present, you pass, anybody who are stolen from the Liberian people will be dealt with sufficiently by this government. Thank you for people doing the work for us.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We take this caller on this line. Good morning.
Good morning, Fatu.
Good morning. Your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Pony. I'm popularly known as Irresistible Pony, and I speak from the Bushwa Island.
Irresistible Pony, where have you been?
I'm okay. I'm here. I'm involved. I'm occupied. I'm doing very well. I'm here.
Okay. Go ahead.
And I want to thank you. You are the Lone Ranger on a Friday, so I want to thank you for taking all the huge responsibility.
Yeah.
Well, I like to appreciate the government. I like to appreciate the court. I like to appreciate the assets recovery. I overheard somebody saying whether past government officials are not involved. And you said something that I like to, they said only past government official has been apprehended and taken to court. And you said something, but I like to advance on it further.
Yeah.
The first thing the public need to understand is that our country has been lacking behind over the years. I personally, I didn't vote for President Bouaka for rules. I want to be very clear with you, Fatu.
Okay.
If you are elected, you Fatu, you definitely be rules. President Taylor be rule, Mrs. Salif be rule, President Weah be rule, President Bouaka is being rule. Even Puni here would definitely be rule if I'm elected tomorrow. Our country probably have been prosecution, impunity, major problem for our country over the years.
Yeah.
Our country is lacking behind simply because of impunity. Now, I want the public to understand that those that you see that are currently being arranged before court, taking the sub-beach, getting a bill, getting out, were investigated long since by the LSCC. The current group that Bouaka suspended, for example, Abdullah Kamaa, it's President Bouaka that appointed him.
Yeah.
Okay, Abdullah Kamaa is being currently investigated at the LSCC.
Yeah.
Swakoko Denny is being investigated. James Flomo was just suspended the day before yesterday. 3 or 4 days ago from MCSA. He's being investigated. So Bouaka current group are being investigated. Those groups you see are past group on the audit reports. So you have to be investigated. You have to be indicted before you are arraigned before court. For example, they suspended how they call this guy? The group from Lacra.
Yeah, Sankolo.
Sangolo. They are being investigated. You have to be investigated. You have to be indicted. Then you are forward to court. So there's nothing like selective. In fact, no prosecution, no government in the world will arrange everybody at the same time. Not possible. There's no government in the world that will investigate, that will look at the group at the laboratory telecommunication. Israel Akisai, he was appointed by George Weah. William Zanga, the chair by George Weah. They are all being suspended, but they were not arranged before court because they're being investigated. Abegail Kamaa investigation is also on. So the people have to give the process chance. People have to be, the government will not even investigate everybody. The next government they will continue. There are people from George Weah group that are being investigated. So they have to get a process chance. We got to support the process. Our country, those officials have to go. It doesn't mean that they are guilty. If you go there, if possible, you could be exonerated. But that due process be getting.
Okay.
Thank you, Fatu. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Irresistible Pony. It's been a while. Somebody was just talking that you lost on the radio. People not hearing you again. They just call. Okay. We're still waiting our guest. As soon as he arrives, we take him. But let's continue with the course. Good morning.
Yeah, hello.
Good morning. Let's hear you.
Thank you, Fatu. This is Tim. We are joining from a Lovington end.
Okay, let's hear you.
Okay then. Fatu, I think if you listen to most of the callers,
Mm-hmm.
maybe if you do a few sampling of Liberian,
Mm-hmm.
every one of us, the issue of corruption,
Mm-hmm.
all like the issue of corruption, because corruption has been one of the factors that delays the progress of Liberian development and all of you. But then, if fighting corruption, Fatu, let's be real to ourselves, we have to be holistic.
Okay.
Our argument here is not because when I saw other people were accused or they went to service or they are being arranged before court. The argument is why because the support all those government officials that have been suspended by our president. During the media last year, I may not know. Meaning one person that have been arranged before the court? No. Chakoko Dennis, he was suspended because government said is gonna state resources, may use of state resources. Where is Papugo Dennis? He's batting around. But because Jim Mumbo for the just that. Those chairs that he went to buy, the government said he was in an error, he was in ruining, he stole government money, he was suspended. Have you saw police going to the house arresting and quickly enriching?
But he's being investigated.
Oh, he's being investigated.
Yeah.
So all of the officials of government, they are being investigated. When it comes to the opposition or the former government official, you will arrange them before court and cannot be. We should stop there for two. And sometimes we should
These
stop
people
this
have
thing.
been investigated. I'm sure. So you listen the other time that this has been, let's say 2 months ago or something. The asset recovery called Madame Bro and others for questioning when she was called by Clarence Jackson on the show here, and she said she was not going. That was when the investigation started. So they were called for questioning. Yeah.
Yeah, Fatu.
Mm-hmm.
Our argument is that investigation did not start.
Yeah.
What because government job worker, government official, they suspended. It means that they will be suspended after 2 weeks before you send it to court. They want to let the nation come about. No Liberian is support. You will take state resources.
Okay.
So what we are saying, those government officials that have been suspended by government job worker, why they stay party around? Why you can't reach them before the phone, Fatu? It should be real.
Okay.
We should be real to this country.
Okay.
Listen to artists. So all the things we say today, but listen to us. We will take our record. It shouldn't be selected. We want everybody to be funny equally if we went against this thing.
But okay, so you don't have problem with these people being investigated, right?
No, Fatu, how would I have problem?
And you don't have problem with them being taken to the Monrovia Central Prison.
No, what I'm saying, Fatu,
Okay.
the law provides that if you are arranged before, maybe you're born delay and one of you.
But what we saying, they say anything.
No, I understand all of that. All I want to know is that you don't have a problem with that. Thank you. Okay, thank you. You made your point. You cannot take the entire time. Our guest, our very delinquent guest is here. We'll take this. Good morning.
Fatu, this is the voice of Tabu Rasta. I'm phoning in from point 4. Fatu, to be exact, with a geographical location in Zimbabwe.
Okay, Tabu Raza, welcome. Let's hear you.
Fatu, let me say thank you for the show, and thank you to your many listeners.
Okay.
But as Tabu Rasta, let me see you as I will not commend President Abegail for support.
So now you not serious? We're not serious now.
Because Fatu, people who are commending the president, they are not serious.
No, you can say that. You can say.
Somebody for suspending somebody and just oh yeah, I suspend, just go and get that money. We'll meet over there and share it to
you don't have proof of that.
But I want the president, for example, Fatu, in the case of Doku, for a man who stole degree, he resigned under the president. Right now, the GSC report is before the speaker also. GSC report on Sylvester Great, the people are working on MOS at the Ministry of State. They stay before the president of we get nothing from them. But we just seeing part of the president, everyone wanting people. So I want to bring people need fair justice, man.
Okay.
Need fair justice. You told us you are the experience. You are coming with fair justice. You keep the rescue. Those we're not going to wage on people. No, we're not commending for wage on the people. We're commending for doing the right thing. But not the wage on. Thank you for having me, man.
Thank you. So our guest is already here. We cannot continue with the course. We take this one and this person has been on the line for a while. Let's hear you. Let's hear you.
Good morning, Ma'am Fatu.
Good morning. Let's hear you. What's your name?
Clarence Kamaa calling from Ghana.
Okay, go ahead, Clarence.
Yeah, the country will have to be very, very serious. Those who calling on this letter yesterday, I wanted to have been living here. Let me tell you, Fatu Kamaa, what made the president get the huge assignment. Mr. Weir have been doing the same similar thing that the president doing. The huge bucket proceeding couldn't be on the president head alone. Okay? Even when Madam Seri was in power, those who say this today, they say the government was corrupt. What they did? So, the downfall of their country is impenity. Because we are looking at the president that he is not doing this because of campaign. Let people love me, let me forgive them, let them love me. You know what Madam Seri never supported them, man? Because of one question, what will be my defense? Okay? And at the time, the man was a VP, the man said, look, let the law guide everybody. Nobody is above the law. You know what Madam Seri never even supported, even told Mr. Weir to go on the man who can't rule, yeah, for the man to be willing to withdraw himself. That yeah, God sent the man to clear the country as he going on. And by God's grace, this is there for the youth. This action is there for future people that are coming. They may not only do this because the present leader or the party leader, they may doing this for their country to be secure forever and ever. I'm only advising the young people, nobody should fool you to get on the street for their own benefit, what they are achieving in America. Why people even leaving for here to go marry Europe and bring European women here. Okay? Nobody should fool the young people to get in the street. Let them see it. Next people that will come, they will see it, and those who then now, they are going to see it. And they may have suspend Rufien, Zago, Ami Moda, and the man from MCSS, and the old man or Momo Sano.
Ami Moda was not suspended, by the way.
No, I mean he resigned.
Okay.
But equally so is the pressure for the government.
Okay.
The government. Okay. Let me tell you, look, the step that the president is taking, my sister, they will secure the country for the future for good.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We cannot take any more calls. Our guest is here. He is the executive director of the Hope for Young People Incorporated in Liberia. He is in our studio with us, and he is well known, but he will still have to introduce himself. So, good morning, Mr. Thomas Tamabondo, and welcome to the OK Morning Rush.
Good morning.
Can you just get a little bit closer to the okay?
Am I okay now?
Mm-hmm.
So good morning, Fatu, and then thank you for welcoming me to your coaching studio.
You could still bring the microphone down. Okay, thank you.
Thank you for welcoming me to your coaching studio this morning.
Okay.
You know, welcoming me in this studio is that you are trying to welcome fish in the water. You know, obviously, it is impossible to welcome fish in the water because this is my media home.
Okay.
Whenever I sit in any of this seat, I feel at home. So it's a good thing. Thank you for the improvement. I think it has been about 2 years now and I haven't been here to discuss serious issue like we are about to discuss this morning.
Okay.
We have been coming normally on our OKFM fan club, discussion, and other social issues.
Okay.
So it is a pleasant thing being here this morning.
Okay.
Thank you for the invite.
So welcome to your home.
Thank you.
How is the Hope for Young People Incorporated? The last time we ever talked about this organization was, I think, 2 years ago.
Yes, 2 years ago we talked about the organization.
How have you been? What have you been doing?
Yeah, we have been working. We have been engaged in communities. We have been engaged in schools, and then also creating awareness in street corners, organizing dialogues in community, as usual, to educate our people about the impact of drugs addiction, rape, teenage pregnancy, and child trafficking across Montserrat County. So we have been actually working. We know there are challenges, but we cannot stop the work because it's what we are called to do, it's what we are passionate to do.
Okay.
Just on Wednesday, prior to the International Day against drugs abuse and illicit trafficking, we are honored as an anti-drugs hero.
Wow.
By the Concerned Youth for Progress and the Pinsbury City Corporation there at the Pinsbury Town Hall. So that can tell you that we are still making progress and we are still engaging our people.
Okay. What can you say about the current status of drug addiction or drug consumption in Liberia? How many youths, have been affected, maybe in deaths or, on the overall when it comes to illicit or illegal drug consumption in the country?
So you will get approximately, it might be around 1.5 million people. So it is in category.
Okay.
It's in category. You get other people that are using drugs, but they are not like those who we call zogos.
Okay.
Because to some extent, they can control their addictive behavior.
Okay.
So in fact, just for instance, don't be surprised to discuss one of these days that somebody who you are working in this particular entity is on drugs. I shouldn't be surprised to know that somebody who we can go to create the awareness together in communities, schools, and street corner is also on drugs.
So is it possible, before you just continue, is it possible to see somebody and know this person is on drugs? Are there signs to show that somebody is on drugs?
Yes. There are signs, and then sometimes too there are smell of people who are on drugs. Because, mind you now, there are people who, even in government, in position of power, they are also on drugs.
Okay.
Yes, they are also on drugs. But estimated, when we talk about those who are seriously addicted, that are living only on day to day, who we refer to as zogos.
Yeah.
Nationwide, you'll be talking something around 700,000.
Wow.
Nationwide. those young people that are actually affected. And it is a sad thing for our country. A very, very sad thing. It's very, very sad for Liberia. We were actually hopeful and grateful to the president when he actually set up the task force and declared drugs as a national emergency.
What about those who have died as a result of that?
So,
on the overall, do you have a statistics on those numbers?
So on the overall, so we want to take it from around, because we actually doing a check, because we have to hold this government accountable for promises that officials or government made to the people.
Okay.
So normally it's around 800 to 1,200 persons since this government came into power. Fatu, you hear every time there are some that you may not even hear about. There are other people who die from just, it may not be like how we see other people lying on the street, because the most one that our attention can be Junto. They had the one on the street. They want Jeff Eastern. About 2 weeks ago, right in my community, the Dearmouth Open Bazotan community around the drivers market, 2 persons died in the same hour. 2 persons died in the same hour. And it will interest you to know that the guys who were actually over there, what they did was that they just removed those 2 guys from among them, because they were down around the swamp. They removed those 2 guys from among them, brought the 2 guys around the road, trapped those bodies there, and went back and they started taking drugs. So they were kind of confused me. I said, but are these guys really normal? Just imagine him and say, yeah, go for a bit, I took something, I die. Then you only maybe dressed, they'll be far away from me. You start taking the same thing. So are these really normal? So it is a serious pandemic, even more than the monkeypox that we are talking about. The only pandemic imposed on Liberia that caused a serious impact more than drugs addiction when it comes to death, it is the Ebola virus. The drugs pandemic is even more than the COVID-19.
Okay.
Yes, it's even more than COVID-19. The amount of lives that drugs are claims. Just take for Eastern, during the past regime, the stampede that took place in Yucatan, it was due to drugs addiction, because those guys were going to harass people to go and satisfy their habit. So at the end of the day, they did what they could have done and get people dead in that particular area. So it was as a result of drugs addiction. They are direct victims and they are indirect victims.
Wow.
I think some time ago you told me that I know the story upon the Jacob bag.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are indirect victim of drugs addiction, because those guys, when they are feeling a withdrawal symptom, they tend on to do anything that they can do to ensure that they get back at normal, because for them now when they are in drugs, which means they are normal.
Okay, so I was reading this release from you as it relates to the celebration of the National Day Against Drugs and let's say illicit trafficking or whatever, and I read that you've been working to when it comes to this issue of drug abuse in Liberia. What exactly have you been doing as Hope for Young People Incorporated, or is currently doing directly in assisting people or young people who are affected by drug addiction in communities like, let's say, the Palm Grove Cemetery or other places?
So, actually, when we founded Hope for Young People Incorporated in 2019, we actually thought of reaching out to drugs addicted young people. We actually thought of reaching out to drugs addicted young people in various communities, in the slum, in the cemetery across Mosorado County. But what basically happened is that we did not really have the support that we have needed to rehabilitate those people, because rehabilitation is very expensive. It is very, very expensive. That you may not understand the impact of drugs on these young people in the various communities, to the extent that you will go to the area where there is a drug hotspot. In that very community, there is a cartel. In some community, the community chairman, chairpersons, they are involved. Even police depot around, they are allegedly involved in those illicit acts. So to get rid of those people, to take them out of the ghetto, it is an issue. We firstly try by intervening to get some of them out of the ghetto. We try and were able to have found a mini apartment where we put about 4 persons to be there, but we couldn't actually maintain them because number one, the place was never secure. Those guys could leave the area at will, go to the ghetto, taking their substances, and come back. So time in, time out, they were doing the same. In fact, they started to sell some of the belongings that we placed in the apartment. So we look at that, we say, no, this seems to be very expensive. These guys are not changing. We are trying to talk to them. So we turn on to getting people to the rehabilitation center. So whenever we go to the ghetto, on our ghetto outreach, if we come across somebody who is addicted and express interest to be rehabilitated, we sponsor the rehabilitation to ES Grant or to other rehabilitation center across the country. So we thought it was to turn on to the preventive method, because we did a survey and we discovered that about 80 to 85% of young people that are addicted to drugs today, they started in high school.
Wow.
They started in high school. So what we did was that we set up the campus anti-drugs club.
Okay.
The responsibility of that club is to train students of various institutions, and they will be there to always talk to the Cody to create awareness.
Okay.
And carry on peer advice to the Codys in the very high schools. So that has been working for us.
Okay.
But when it comes to the issue of rehabilitation, we have not capacity to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, we are not able to do that. So for that reason, we believe that it is good to invest in prevention than rehabilitation. Like last year when we commemorated the International Day Against Drugs, our theme was prevention is easier, rehabilitation is expensive, avoid drugs. It was on that theme that we carry on, but I think the government needs to do more, community needs to do more.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I also read the release where there is an estimated, you said there's an estimated 1,500 to 200 youth deaths from, let's say, 2024 up to now. What immediate or practical interventions do you believe can be implemented by, let's say, organizations like yours, even with some of the limited resources, to save the lives in short term? What are some of the things, immediate and practical interventions you think can be taken?
So, like I just stated, one of the practical intervention is to create awareness on the causes, the effect, and prevention of drugs abuse.
Okay.
But besides, we sponsor people who are desire to be rehabilitated. We sponsor a rehabilitation center. So we cannot do more than that. We cannot do more than that. We educate you. We tell you, don't get involved. We are not like the DEA or other law enforcement agency to run behind people, maybe in a ghetto, to get them out of those places.
Okay.
We cannot do that.
Do you also look at the causes of some of these young people getting involved with this drug consumption?
Definitely. So obviously, some of them who did our ghetto survey, someone will tell you it is as a result of peer pressure.
Okay.
It is as a result of peer pressure. Someone will tell you say it is as a result of child trafficking. It was based on that background that we added child trafficking to our focus area.
Okay.
Because I met a young guy in the ghetto. He told me that someone who is not related to his family brought him in Morovia with the intent and put his family under the impression that they are going to send him to school.
Okay.
So based on that, his parents allowed him to come to the city to be reared by the person. But most of the time, the person was mistreated by the particular guardians. Send the child to go sell, send the child to do hard labor job, and while their own children are going to school. So as a result of this, the kid told me that whenever he goes there and go back home, sometimes they will beat on him, sometimes he will be treated differently in a negative manner than the little biological children. So he looked at that. He started observing this place where group of people can paddle. So he saw people there in his age group. So he tried to go near them. And he noticed that the people started encouraging him. So when he goes there sometime, he will put the maggie at another place, he go there. And that place was the ghetto. So whenever he go to the ghetto, the first time he went there, somebody bought that jaws, they took it in when he was dizzy. So he started going there. So he started getting wild in the home. So when he noticed that they couldn't coexist within the home, he turned on to live to the ghetto. He said, big brother, whenever I go to the ghetto, the guys there treat me like a king. He said, because I just come in, I'm a fresh guy, so everybody want to be friendly with me to introduce me to a lot of new things. So the guys there treat me like a king. They come around me, they show me love. We interact, we eat together. We feel loved among ourselves. We lived like we are on top of the world. He said, in fact, the guy coached me and they taught me how to steal. Yes, he said the guy taught me how to steal, how to jack bed, how to go on motorboat operation.
Okay.
And he said all those things to me. So we noticed that child trafficking is one of the key, in fact, to drug addiction. Another ghetto tour. There was a guy in the ghetto who family are rich. He said my parents got money. Anything I want to provide to me. But it was, around the 2009, 2010 or 2011, we used to get something called direct. That time the Miami Beach was hot. The Dana Myers black used to be hot. That time the weed used to be popping. We used to get something in the mineral bottle called direct. So he said, my friend brought the canyon the first day and I took it in. I felt dizzy. I was actually mad when I went. But he tried to convince me, my man, I think it didn't get any negative impact on you. You see how, this other person movies, how the other musician movies, how the other making me rapping, that this thing can inspire the person. So he fell prey to it and he started going. He started taking drugs as well. Every time no carry to him. So when he was getting addicted, he couldn't spend a day without drugs. So now he has graduated from being a school drugs boy to the community drugs boy. So he started looking for ghettos anywhere he could find it.
Okay.
So when he started like that, at the end of the day, he ended up in a gravesite. He said, big brother, my parents neglected me. Because I had one girl who used to love me. So the only thing they did was that they rented an apartment and they take me out of the community. I was there with my fiancé. He said, we have a 9-month-old baby. And most of the time, my mother would try to tell me, say, oh, send your girlfriend for the full money, send your girlfriend for this other money. So I went to steal that day. I couldn't steal from anywhere. I couldn't get anything to steal. I was feeling withdrawal symptom. The June, they get something called the June. When the drugs is leaving them, they get something called the June. So the June was killing me. So I went to the ghetto to credit from the CEO. The CEO said, no, but you already owe me, so I can't credit you again until you pay my first money. So I had no other option. I went back to the house. I told my girlfriend that my mother want to see you. So my girlfriend left the house. I went in the room. The only valuable items in the entire room was the mattress. I took my 9-month-old baby from the mattress, put the baby on the floor, and took the mattress to the ghetto. So that broke me down in the ghetto. I said, what? So you took your 9-month-old baby. He said, but people, that was a small thing. He said, in fact, if I had the opportunity to pawn my mother if I really want to take jobs, I can do it.
Imagine that.
So I feel very broken, and I feel that this thing, it just past what we are seeing on the physical. It also needs some spiritual intervention.
Okay. Before we open the phone lines, you talk about this challenge of minimal community involvement in decision making. In your release, what specific strategies you think the Hope for Young People Incorporated is employing to mobilize and empower affected families and communities to advocate for change?
So as we have been advocating, we play a key role in advocating for the passage of the formulation. We started from the formulation stage. We started working with Honorable Thomas Goswa, the former representative of District 4, residing Swakoko Dennis, Lawrence Morris, from the former representative of District 1, and a lot of people. We started working with them on the formulation stage to formulate the national just strategic plan. So that plan is already there. So from that plan, that informed us to revise the lawmaker revised the drugs law. So when it was revised, there are a lot of components in there. There is a component that talk directly to treat the Zogos as victims.
Okay.
So you treat them as victims. So on that revised law, trafficker, dealers, distributors, they are not bailable under the law. They are not bailable. So when we catch you today, you are trafficking drugs, we catch you, we send you straight to beach, pending investigation. But when you are a Zogo, the recommendation is, or the law says, you should be taken to a national rehabilitation center or to a rehabilitation center where you'll be rehabilitated and you'll be treated medical wise and you'll be integrated into society to contribute to the growth and development of the country.
Okay.
But that is not also working, because I can see that the president has a good intention when it comes to fighting drugs, but the emergency announced by him is an audio emergency.
Okay.
It's an audio emergency. It
so
is
you
not,
need,
it is not physical.
This practical, they need to be.
But Fatu, take for instance, let's look at Jos and Mongepa. Which one is causing more harm to Liberia currently? So let's take for instance, every morning, Enville, the National Public Health Institute of Liberia will give update on the Mongepa.
Yeah. Mpox.
Yeah. Every morning they will give update on it. How many cases, how many persons recover, how many persons. Yeah, I think so far I haven't seen any deaths that have been recorded. But when you come to the issue of drug addiction, there are a lot of deaths. And the steering committee, the inter-sectoral steering committee, they are not giving an update. They are not working. The first thing our health sector is challenged. So when you take the health minister to put her on top such committee that is very serious to be fighting drugs, and she is too busy with the health challenge already.
So what are some of the non-negotiable let's say points, or let's say perspective that the Hope for Young People Incorporated would bring to that committee if you are giving a seat at that table?
Well, the first thing will ensure that the public will be updated about the issue of addiction in Liberia. If it can be on a daily basis, but it should be on a weekly basis. Because the more you create the awareness, it is the more that you try to prevent people from getting involved. Fatu, if you just take time and invest in the issue of drugs addiction, to you invest in rehabilitation and in drugs prevention, you will save a lot of resources. Fatu, go on our gold mines, go to where illicit minings are taking place. You understand that people are trading our natural resources for drugs to other aliens from other countries. You'll notice that the Nigerians, Ghanaians, South Africans, they are going there. Nothing they are carrying drugs to get our resources. Look at drugs lead to prison overcrowdedness. If you create awareness and invest in drugs prevention, the money that the government should take to invest.
I like that angle.
Yes, the money that the government should take to prison overcrowdedness. So the money that the government will take to what? To prevent other crimes in communities, to empower the police. You can take that money to invest in another thing. So those are the ideas that we're going to be carrying. We aren't just going to be sitting at the table as a bubble, but we're going to be what? Giving policy recommendation and implementation recommendation that will help to what? To carry that brought back to status quo. Way back, the only thing we know about opium, grass, what the people need to be smoking. To some places, even to see those things, it's a bit difficult. But this time, you understand, like the cocoa, the cocaine, the doji, the tarenware, the zooming, the kush, they are all dancing reggae around Morovia. Not talking about to other areas that I had to reach.
Okay. Thomas, we will take few calls. The callers are already on the line. They're waiting to talk to you. Let's take some of the callers. Good morning.
Good morning, OKFM.
Good morning. This is OKFM. Let's hear you.
Yeah, it's just okay. I want to extend my greeting to the Federal Institute. I'm happy to listen to such a young man. The drug is very clear, even there are more than the monkeypox as you were saying. This is better we prevent men not to take it. The moment they take it, only one word can survive. I got a son who got in the drugs business, doing Georgia administration. They took me to Rofa. They say almost 8 months I was supporting him. They walk in there when we accepted him. We are seeing him. But then later on he went back into it. The only thing, what I'm saying, the one the government going around or arresting government officials, putting them in jail, I think that's just what we should be doing. Get the community, the authority, go ahead and we start chasing these guys. Because in the community, the people they are seeing physically, not something they really hard. You pass them more than the smoking, they have no fear. As you are seeing, people who used to smoke with people not like this, but the drugs all over, the people smoking cigar, they smoking him being boom, and different type of drugs. So it be better the government give us the authority to help out with the police who will take the guy from our community. I'm the elder in the community. But even in the community, people are afraid to move around there in the night. See? Okay. So I'm happy why you're doing that. I'm giving the full support. The only thing we need is help. We need the support from the government. 3 years, you're right there, the people go, the GO official to go, the radio guy after 1 or 2 days, come back. And some had to go there, they're trying to get a small thing, they go. They're not intending to get rid of this guy. So I think we need to fight this guy to see what we're fighting crime. We're fighting government official, corrupt official, we arrest and put them in jail. That's what we need to do.
Okay.
And that will help us. Otherwise, the society will turn us down. The people that are overcoming the community. They don't even care. They can't respect for nobody. Anything they want to do, they do it in the community. They are governing to themselves. They got a CRC and they got all these people. So why is saying that begging? Let them just continue. Let better than a child, you take it about the moment they get to get them from there or Fatu and my son to do. Will be that. My name is Samuel Zah. I'm from Sudan, chairman of the Elder Council.
Thank you, Samuel. Let's hear you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
I'm President for the
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Let me take this time to appreciate the studio guest the deliberation. I think these are things all that don't need to be involved in the fight drugs in this country.
Okay.
Yeah, but the only thing I have problem with government is that the DA will arrest drugs and keep it for some time. And those that are arrested, they don't know their heart. Because $1 billion business, those that get arrested, so they can just go and measure they go powder together and say that the drug, they go and reset the drugs. So I can see the proliferation of drugs stay in the country. For me, I will let the government.
Yeah, you can just be talking that thing. Now you get proof. What day?
You getting me?
Go ahead.
Yeah, the only thing they can do that is revise that law that as they catch a drug on the scene, they should destroy it for everybody. Let everybody see it.
Okay.
It will be okay, but not to keep it drug for some whole month, 2-3 months. It's not good. These are things that are making the drug business to be continued in the country because those that you feel that they are fortunate, they are the ones that really are going to be the drugs in the country. Thank you very much.
Okay. Let's hear you. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Samuel Account Kesha, Samuel D. Kesha, or thank for the brother that is still there. I have even some official in government didn't want really responsible to use the youth, but by the time they get them anything happen, they will just go to the beginning and get them for that
sending our US to go on destruction because they already doing the job so they can make the youth of support their political team to gain their popularity and things. So we have to calm down. So big hair have to rule. Big hair have to rule in the country. Like only way the judge they will see. We have to beat people here in the team to penetrate in the young people, to make the young people or to gain their popularity, to gain their political strength, to use the young. So like only way to use the society to hold wild there and then to make their money. So they have to use people. If the people be sent to us, they will not have to use them, but they have to make them experience by the language to be able to use them. That's why they use the job really free.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Let's hear you. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Let's hear you. Lasana, you need to shake up a bit. We're not hearing you.
I'm Lasana Kamaa calling from Kamaa, New Jersey.
Okay, go ahead.
So, let me say thank you to the studio guys. Couldn't have said it better than what they have said. But my point goes to the politicians. Most of the politicians it is alleged. Let me say again, it is alleged. People who are in the capital building there, they are good at solving people or maybe sending talks on people, allegedly sending talks on people to beat them when you made some of these allegations.
Okay.
And it is alleged that some of those people, those politicians, that they are there also giving some of these very youth the harmful substances in an attempt that just in case of any riot or anything, they will have them behind them to support them. Even in other countries, to fight drugs, it has not been easy. America, as powerful as it is, they are finding it difficult to crack down on drugs. So what we do, like the brother says, the community need to create an awareness team in line with schools and community chairmen and other people. If we see them, make sure that drugs be curbed and maybe minimized, if not 100% curtailed, we will not in the long distance future our country being referred to maybe as either Colombia, those people. So, just good about and you continue on advocating there.
Okay. Okay. We take just two more and then we can go back to Thomas Tamabundo to wrap up. Good morning.
Good morning, Fatu.
Good morning.
Let me say a pleasant good morning to the people in the brother this morning. This is the voice of G. Rasmus, Virginia, reporting the show from DRW Junction this morning.
Yeah.
But the issue of a job, I think, we all as a citizen and government, we need to be involved because one way or the other, Fatu, there should be a relative of yours, taking substances.
Yeah.
So I think the issue about the jobs, we all need to fight it. But one thing the LDA need to do, Fatu, is that they need to see reason, to gain, to regain the trust from the various communities. Because Fatu, at times, it can baffle me, even the community people, in the community, when see others have come to you see community people, preventing officers. Why? Because they will go to the various ghettos, and they will take money from those dealers there, and then they will just go do something that was scared, really. At the end of the day, you see that coming back to the community. So one thing they need to do is that I don't know whether they don't have enough, see up for those guys. Because in the community, when they arrest those guys, the next day, 2-3 days, you stay back in the community. So
okay.
I don't really know what measure they can use. And so that when the men come and say, the men don't get it, save the money, how they release also. So I don't know why they can be requesting for money, and then they put the guys on the the problem with the thing, this is very, very serious. Because 2 years from now, the young people in a serious classes for the issue of because everything. There's a growing population of this particular, number of you that are taking substance.
Okay.
And then last week I did the last part too.
Mama, you work on how many minutes you wanna?
I think the guys from LPA, they appear on the OK Money Rush, and then they say they have warehouse where they can keep those drugs when they arrest those drugs. But then, my major concern is that who are those manning that warehouse? Yeah, that's my major concern, because if you don't have somebody who is well trusted to man a warehouse, five job will come back in the state. So that's no concern about who are those manning that particular warehouse. But it's a good thing we all need to fight it, because it's concern in Liberia, and one way or the other you have a relative taking just so think the money for the talking point is out of the billion, and we all need to please stand up with the DA when the people can arrest, don't prevent. When you see anybody standing just in the community, sure those are saying it's just, get rid of them. Thank you so kindly for having me this morning.
Thank you so kindly. We'll have to go back to Thomas Bundo. Thomas, you listen to the callers. It seems like everybody think that this thing is an emergency, that everyone will have to work toward.
So Fatu, this is, we're using this as a survey. Then I think the government just clearly need to put in more energy and resources in the fight against, if they say, just in Liberia, because the callers clearly stated it. You listen to every one of them that called, they were in line with what we are saying, because this is vote of politics. Just addition doesn't know religion. It doesn't know political party. It doesn't know family band. It doesn't know social band. It doesn't know status in society. So to tell you how dangerous it is. So everybody is just in line with the same thing, calling on the government to take immediate action, because we are losing our precious resources, the young people. These young people should be the one who are taking over after the older people leave power. So if all of the just think, if you are official, all of the legacy that you are leaving behind today or you are setting today, tomorrow, if you are no more, who want to take all to continue from where you stop? There will be nobody, because all of the young people are dying to jobs. And a lot of people are there, they are saying they are doing nothing. For instance, the president announced that government officials should do drug tests. How many persons did? How many persons did? And now the next thing the president needs to suspend people for, on a very honest note. Because most of the people, the reason for which they are not taking this thing serious, because they are also involved. So that the president is supposed to declare access, and there were people that did not declare, so the president suspended it. So those that do not want to do the drug test, leave their job, because it will serve as warning, as another sign of awareness. Because if I know I'm aspiring to be a government official or to be a good person in society, then it is compulsory that I do drug tests. If I have certain position, I will keep far away from jobs. I will keep very far away from jobs. Even schools now should start setting boundaries to say, oh yes, before you enter, when you wear your entrance, before you enter our school, we do your drug test, because the classroom that used to be a place of learning, they are now turning into backyard. They are now turning into ghettos. There are people there selling cayenne, people selling milk candy, people selling Benesi candy, people selling juices. A lot of things people selling in the classroom. Those things are mixed with substances that can lead people to addiction. So I think the government need to take decisive action.
Okay.
Yeah.
So looking ahead, before you go, what is the hope for young people incorporated long-term vision for, let's say, sustainable solutions when it comes to this Liberia drug crisis? What are your long-term, what is your long-term vision for sustainable solutions?
So Fatu, I'm the author of this quote. Do not depend on what you are hoping on for the future. Make use of what is in your hands, because what is in your hands can lead you to what you want for the future. Yeah, why it is true that we get our long-term plan. Our plan is to build a national rehabilitation hub, or state-of-the-art rehabilitation hub that will be well equipped to cater to just addicted youth or persons who are addicted to just medically, and we'll counsel them and while we have them rehabilitated and reintegrated into society. But those things cannot be achieved with limited resources. Those things cannot be achieved while we are trying to carry on the preventive measures, and people are still opening our borders. Government officials are still allegedly helping to transport illegal substances in the country, and other people are working with impunity. For instance, Fatu, since the president announced these things and said we have the not bailable judge law, the only person, to my own knowledge, that is in jail today because of just dealing or trafficking is original Japan. Original Japan is the only person, is the only notorious just dealer who we know today is still behind bar. But all of people are just the last time Honorable Billy's son, Peach, he was caught and he was free. People who raise the concern again, he had to go back to the court. So we cannot be playing game of these things. It cannot. Justice should be blind. We cannot be doing a partial justice. If you are not at a certain position, you shouldn't get certain privileges. Like what you see when you go to the temple of justice, the lady that over there with the gabble, her ass, they are tied, so she cannot see anybody. Whether relative, whether official, whether common man, she cannot see anybody because justice needs to be blind in its implementation. Yeah. So, so another thing, quickly, if I leave this studio without doing this, I will be an ingrate. Let me use this minute to congratulate and commend the government, because you know for now FPA, yeah, first of all for the effort that they put in getting the not permanent seat, because I'm a student of international relations. I know what that seat calls for the country. I know the kind of benefit and the kind of prestige that we're going to get on the international stage when it comes to global security. So I want to commend the president, the foreign affairs ministers, the finance minister, every one of them for ensuring that Liberia grabbed a seat. And another thing again, at the regional level, the sub-regional level, the ECOWAS, you know, this field that we just want to build to host the ECOWAS Youth Development Sport and Development Center. So that's a big boost for us. So we can get all of this Google thing coming to our country, and we can tackle the issue of just abuse, because or else we'll get other people from other countries coming to benefit from that particular youth and sport development center, while our own young people, they are in the graveyard, they are on the streets, they are sleeping in the market building, because why? They are not prepared. So we have to prepare our young people. We have been in these things for about a decade now. Call it on the government. The government will take decisive action. If President Joseph Yuma Boaka feel the Liberian people when it comes to the issue of tackling just, then which means yes. I don't know how to describe such a fear, because it was one of the pedo. One of the campaign promises of this government. I tell you, most of the time when I used to have the opportunity to meet with him when he was the former vice president, most of the time when we go, we discuss the issue about just. So the reason why you see him was very, 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 very effectively clear when he was discussing these things, because we discussed the issue, we discussed about how these things going to be implemented, we discussed about policies, strengthening policies. So, you know, one of the things that led to the breakthrough movement of Justin Labro is it is a program that hope for young people have. Don't forget, in Ghana'sville, when we invited Mato Masale, the former LDA commander in Ghana'sville, when she alleged that lawmakers are involved into just trafficking. That was the very first time in the history of Liberia that the lawmaker took the issue of just serious. They took the issue of just serious. They called emergency session because they wanted to remove the dark cloud. I remember I spoke to the former speaker about that. He was a deputy speaker, Fanati Kofa. Yeah, when I said, but the lady, so you just got to give the lady change. You got to provide some security for her. He said, yeah, but the woman got to talk, because you need to remove the dark cloud from over the legislator, because somebody could be speculating it is me, it is Thomas Fala, it is this other person. She should call the person name. I said, but she needs security. If maybe one of these countries can even give her a sudden ability that she will talk, but she cannot. She couldn't have said that thing openly if she did not have such experience. So the lawmakers call that particular emergency session only because they want to vindicate themselves. But they don't care about the young people that are dying. They don't care about the family that are going through. Parents are having restless time, wanting to find solution to the children's addictive behavior, Fatu. So this thing is very serious. We again call on the president, call on the government to invest. We cannot be having just as a national health emergency. Fatu, I know. We cannot be having this thing is serious, Fatu. Let's talk about it. Yes. So we cannot be having just as a national health emergency. They don't get the DEA, the people who should be implementing the policy. They only have maybe 3 cars. They only have about 3 cars. You call all the DES county commanders, none of them have cars.
Okay.
Let me talk about motorbus. When it comes to car, the first thing the government will invest in the DEA. When you go, most of the time we take our ghetto tour when the DEA are on operation, it is difficult for you to distinguish between the DEA and the Zogos because sometimes when they have even identity, some of them they are there. They are not even unified. So it is a serious issue.
Okay.
Some of them are underpaid. They are volunteer. So at the end of the day, they become ghetto informers instead of government informers. So when they are going to the ghetto, let's say call the just dealer, say we are coming. So tell the guys they shouldn't come around for so and so time. We'll be around there. So this thing is serious. Again, the name is Thomas Tamabono, former executive director of Hope for Young People Incorporated, former Youth League USA ID Youth Ambassador to Liberia. So Fatu, it was nice being in your studio. And I want to tell all of the followers, thank you for following. Thank you for the contribution. The religious community, the political community, everybody got to put their differences aside and focus on the fight against illicit drugs in Liberia.
Thank you. The tough talking Thomas Tamabondo. You let a man talk, he would talk until even the 2 hours, everything will go. Thank you, but it was an important discussion, and I appreciate him. Our next guest is going to be in here shortly, and we're going to talk health and other national issues. So we take this break to usher in our second guest, and shortly we will be back. So our next guest is the Mr. Thomas Waluba. He is the founder of the Thomas Waluba Foundation. He is here with us. He's already in the studio. We're waiting as he gets prepared, and we will cross right over to him. So Thomas Waluba is prepared. Good morning. Welcome to the OK Morning Rush this morning. Good morning, sir.
All right, good morning, Fatu.
Okay. You could just lift up the microphone to you. So it's okay. Good morning. Welcome to OK FM and to the Morning Rush.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay.
Good morning, Madam Kamaa and your colleague.
Okay. How is the Thomas Waluba Foundation?
We give the Almighty God thanks because it is He getting us through.
Okay. What have you been involved with so far? What are some of the things you've been doing as a foundation?
In more recent, we are trying to negotiate with other professional colleagues of ours to carry on some health awareness in our communities, in our society, because based on our own experience in this health field, we are seeing so many things that we think we need to talk about to enlighten the minds of our people. So predicate on this, we are involved in setting a vibrant health team that will be engaged in various communities.
Okay. And what are some of the things you will be
we will concentrate on health lecture, as I said, to enlighten the minds of our people. Because There's a popular saying that says prevention is better than cure.
So I'm talking about the lectures.
Yeah, we will be discussing various topics.
Okay.
As it relates to how to prevent some major sicknesses and how to also go about appearing to hospital, to health facility, who to ask, and what to do, what to take, so that you cannot have another future complication. So we'll be doing conversation in those lines. And as you said, some things that you are involved with in more recent, and the circumcision process continue.
Okay.
Even it's one of the cause of my delay.
Okay.
It's 1.5 years, but 3%.
Okay, great. So I saw this write up on your page. How to be part of the upgrading of Liberia, and I'll just take a gist of it. It says, "Good morning, everyone. It is an honor to appear on this platform today to write on a topic that concerns not just our present, but also the future of generations to come. How to be part of upgrading Liberia upgrading process. Every country, no matter how developed, is always evolving economically, socially, politically, technically. This upgrading process of Liberia is not just the responsibility of our government, it is a collective effort where every citizen has a role to play. How can you and I as individuals contribute meaningfully to this national transformation? To respond to this question, I start by saying educate yourself. Number 2, innovation. Number 3, active, not passive. Number 4, promote unity and tolerance. Number 5, protect our environment. Number 6, lead by example. And number 7, supportive or be supported. So you said that. What prompted, firstly, this message before we get to the content?
Thank you very much, ma'am. This is our country, Liberia.
Okay.
And if you see the entire universe is evolving, there are a lot of improvement in this world, in other countries. So to get our country there on par with other countries, then that means every citizen in this country must be involved.
Okay.
So, predicated on what we see in our various community, in our society, we decide to do some read out, to talk or speak to the conscience of our colleagues or our fellow Liberians.
Okay.
So that's the reason why we brought about this read out.
Okay.
Our country needs to be upgraded. When you see the concluding statement there, if I charge myself to say the upgrading process should start with me, I say must start with me. I don't know what's about you. The question is to every Liberian.
Okay. When you talk about upgrading Liberia, in what specific context you're talking about?
In all perspective, Liberia is to be upgraded.
Okay.
In all perspective, if we cannot upgrade, then that means we'll be lacking behind. So we need to upgrade in all sectors of life. So, and I believe there are Liberian citizens who are involved in all sectors of life. So, if you see the first point I strike there is what education.
Okay.
So where you find yourself, you need to be informed. And when you are informed, then until you will play a major role in upgrading the sectors you are informing yourself in.
Okay. So now let's take it step by step. The first stage you talk about educate yourself and others. What specific steps you think need to be taken, or what are ways do you think this can be done? So we'll talk about the different steps.
Yeah, I have said, if you find yourself in a specific career or sectors, all you need to do is to upgrade yourself as per the standard of that or area that you find yourself.
Okay.
And if you upgrade yourself, that means if you are informed with the current day reality, then you will do upgrading. You will see that you will do the needful for our country to grow in that sector.
Okay.
So that's the reason why you need to be educated. Therefore, if example, if those are in the interior, if you are in, let's say, in the traditional schools, there are a lot of things that you also need to upgrade yourself. There are a lot of things that are slacking or missing, or not only in the regular school. And where you find yourself, you need to be informed. If you are not informed, you will do the wrong thing, and then we'll lag behind as a nation.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the barriers. What do you think are some of the barriers you see, you foresee to achieving this collective efforts you talk about? What are some of the things holding this upgrading process you talk about?
I feel that, we are complacent as citizens of Liberia.
Okay.
I think we feel things are just better now, especially when just a few years back we were in refugee camps.
Okay.
We were out there languishing in different countries. But now we are in our own country. When Gabriel you can find something to eat, you just feel that everything is all right. So people are complacent. So we are speaking for people to shake up that all is not well. You need to do something to be part of the improvement of our country. That's the upgrading process we're talking about.
Okay, let's look at progress from your context. In the Liberian context, beyond just this economic, social, political, and technical evolution you talk about, what would an upgraded Mama Liberia look like or feel like, for an average citizen?
It would be very, very, very good.
Okay.
Take, for example,
Okay.
if Liberia is upgraded health-wise, why would a Liberian citizen wanting to leave for him to go Ghana for medical treatment?
Okay.
Why would a Liberian citizen appear at JFK will be saying there's no bed? Why would a Liberian citizen appear to a clinic by 6 in the evening, they say, the clinic is closed?
Okay.
So it would be better for Liberians. I just taking health sector as a key example.
Okay.
So if our country is upgraded in all sectors, then we will see the beauty of our country, the need of staying in our country. If I remember way back in the 80s, I don't think Liberians to talk about leaving this country to go out.
Why?
More Liberians said that things that we wanted where they were seeing things, development were going on rapidly, but this time it's at a slow pace.
So do you think things were better in the 80s than they are now?
I can't just say so, but I compared to the status of the universe at the time, I think we were somewhere better, because our surrounding nations need to always come to Liberia to see, also to seek some greener pasture, to get some education. People need to come from Ghana to attend our university, to attend health services at the JFK. But today it's not happening.
Okay. Somebody would say, okay, yes, you're right about upgrading Liberia. I have my role. I should educate myself. But this is more likely of a government responsibility, because this is why we elect a certain group of people to over the resources of the country and decide how it is managed. So it is more their responsibility than us.
If it says so, it's government responsibility. But one thing you should also understand: the need for doing good or to improving all sectors in Liberia is almost equal. So government is also constrained. If government just want to focus on the sectors you are in, then other sectors will lag back. So now, because of the constrained nature of our country or our government, they may not be effective in implementing all of those things you think is the right of you because of our history of where we come from. So that's the reason why you need to be involved. You are part of the government. You can also stimulate, you can motivate the government based on your action to doing things positively. But if you just say, I will not do, the effort that you're supposed to cross our nation to, or the height that you need to carry our nation to, may likely be lag behind, because the nation needed you to do that. He did not do it. It was not a mistake that God put us in this particular geographic location and calling ourselves Liberian. I think we are here for a purpose. And that's the backdrop I want every Liberian to start seeing our country. Let me play my role for the better Liberia.
Okay. So you, under educating yourself, you spoke about being informed about your rights and responsibilities. What specific rights and responsibilities do you think or do you believe are most crucial, for Liberians to understand and act upon right now for the nation's upgrading?
Yeah, I said, if you are not informed about your right and responsibility, that's the reason why you start thinking that It is the government who's supposed to do this. Say, I'm afraid they didn't do this. I won't do this. If you are informed about your right.
So also now, Mr. Waliba, let's look at those responsibilities. Let's look at, as a citizen, you need to be, you inform yourself about what are those rights you need to be informed about.
Yeah, as I said, if it is your right to live in Liberia freely, to carry on those activities that you are carrying on.
Yeah.
But it is also your right to be part of the developmental process of Liberia. If you are informed in that direction, you will start to take on positive venture.
Okay.
So those are things that I think we are speaking of in that direction.
Now,
but if you are not informed, how will you even think about carrying on those things and thinking about informing others? Because if you see on there, they say educate yourself and others.
Okay.
You have to be first informed and share similar information with other people that will elect in their minds.
Okay, so you talked about innovation. What innovation do you think, maybe an example of the innovation you've personally witnessed, or maybe you imagine you think could be successfully implemented in let's say a typical Liberian community to solve some of the common problems around here? What are some of those innovations you're talking about?
And when I say innovation, immediately you say innovation, people around you start thinking about those high-profile technology and other things. No, the little things in your community. Take for example, if you just manage a little business in your community to be successful, to find food on the table for your family, and also to extend to your neighbors, that's innovation. Because to manage business is not just a setting, or they do not have a fake formula to say this is what you should do. You have to work according to your surrounding to see that this business will be successful. Those are things that we talk about. Like we have an educational system. I think the comrade or the brother that in studio who just left were talking about jobs and other things that people have to do this thing to improve. But the idea you will bring about, like take for example our elementary schools. If you don't want to follow the old pattern that you can do school, beat the children, all the thing, you have to create a means that will make the children willing to come to school on a daily basis. If when they come to school, they want to learn. Those ideas, those simple and improved ideas you bring that will make the children not wanting to just stay home, but being in school to learn something. Those are the innovation we're talking about.
Okay. Now let's move to, you talk also about holding leaders accountable. What are some of those practical and safe ways that you think citizens can hold their leaders accountable, and not just only by attending let's say town hall meetings or community meetings, but what are some of the ways you think citizens can hold their leaders accountable, especially for those who feel afraid to speak out, or who feel unsafe or disempowered?
In our country, we feel the very day we have election. In fact, what I'm observing in Liberia is like election or politics is like looking at the way we watch our various football games.
Okay.
Because I'm a member of Manchester United, that week I'm a Manchester United fan. And when Manchester United wins the game, I'm very happy. I just come home and walk other friends and sit down. Democracy does not end at the ballot box.
Okay.
If you give your vote to somebody, that means you are giving them a piece of job to do. You need to tell them that you are doing the right thing if they are doing. And they are doing the wrong thing, say you are doing the wrong thing. No, we will not accept this. Stand in the face of our leader. Be part of the decision making. Do not just say that, I feel voting that all. But only time they know. We have to engage our leaders. Tell them that this is the right thing you need to do, and you have to do X, Y, Z. You have to put it into perspective.
But sometimes the citizens even do that, but the leaders, in as much as they know their rights and responsibility to know their roles, the citizens sometimes give them their candid opinions, but they still go ahead and do what they want to do. They are the ones in power.
Yeah. I believe that if you continue to engage the people, they will change over the time. I told you initially, we feel very laissez-faire.
Okay.
Even those leaders that we put there, they have similar attributes. They are Liberians. Every government that comes to being, you need to have Liberians to work in those governments. And if you follow the trends, is that almost everybody complain that, oh, the government doing this. The same pattern. So I feel that we need to always engage people. We need to tell our brothers and sisters that we are elected to lead us, that you need to do the right thing. We need to be consistent and persistent with all these things that we're saying.
So what are the ways you think this can be done?
Involved in, like, engaging into the media, talking to pointing out things. You can write your personal letter to a lawmaker. If I should write 100 times to one lawmaker on the issue, I think that lawmaker will feel that there's something happening that I need to change.
Okay.
Yeah. So we need to engage the government in all sectors. We don't need to be afraid of our government. They are part of us. Although we're talking about government, there are people who live in the various community.
Okay. So, Mr. Waloba, let me drag you to politics a little bit. Holding our leaders accountable and looking at the empowered and disempowered. This issue now, this trending issue about leaders misapplying things intended, or like the recent one now, rights intended for the poor people. In a case like this, what can citizens do to hold these leaders, or to make these people pay for what they've done? Because the government, the judiciary is there, they're working, but you're talking about holding leaders accountable, and you're talking about engaging them. But this is now the issue. What are other ways you think the citizens can hold these people accountable in cases like this?
You are just talk about a specific thing. Take, for example, you say arrest that was intended for the poor.
Yeah.
Let's assume somebody in leadership happened to embezzle or happy to steal just rice.
Yeah.
And it is proven. There should be no perception. It should be proven.
Yeah.
That's why our law is. Somebody should be proven under the law that you have done this.
Yeah.
And when it is proven, we need to shame these leaders. We need to, in fact, disassociate ourselves from them and telling them that what they have done is wrong.
Okay.
If it is proven. But when it is not proven, we don't need to take action, because if it is so, that becomes, as you said, well, you say you want to drink into politics. I don't want to look at it in that political form, because some people will do something. They say, "Let me just blow it out of proportion to win the sentiment of those that are following us or hearing us." No, I don't want our country to be in that form. If we feel that somebody has done something, that person should be investigated. When they are guilty, Liberia should stand. He just brought something. Over the time I've observed in this country, almost every citizen get their own role that they can protect.
Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, it should be so.
Have interest, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm on the role here, no. We should look at each other. If you go further down in that record, where they talk about we shouldn't discriminate. We should speak of peace. We should start looking at each other that we are brothers and sisters. Even if my brother happened to do the wrong thing, I should shame him. I should tell him that it is wrong. Even if I'm supporting him to do something, I should be advised not to repeat such act, and I can contribute towards maybe reforming such a thing that he has done. But not to go in the public space that nothing can happen to this man. Now look at Liberia in a different version. That's why we're talking about the upgrading of our country. And all boils down to knowing your responsibility.
Wow.
If you get to know that Liberia is mine, patriotism.
I'm wondering how effective this holding your leaders accountable or engaging your leaders would be or is after we've had civil conflicts where people had issues with the government, and they tried to reach out to the government. There were ways that the way they tried to do it did not work, and people felt that they were tired. And you've seen a lot of protestation, not only the 14 years of civil conflict, you've seen a lot of protestations nowadays. You've seen conflicts, and people, it is not that these people did not try to engage with their government or talk to their government. They've written petitions to them, but these people did not listen until sometimes it gets to a stage where they will have to protest. They will have to get in the street and throw stones. I'm just thinking, how effective do you think this holding your leaders accountable and engaging them and writing them would be?
As I said, we need to consistently do this. It's not something that you can just happen today. You just talk and forget about it, because they are Liberians. And I told you the mass. I come in because the mass set of Liberians, the larger society, the part of the society they're coming from, they come from there with a mass set. So if we start to, because we took discussing the upgrading, telling them, look, because these things to happen in the past, they were never good in the past, it should never be good today. Or if you look at it in the past, it was good, but today, society does not call for such thing. You need to desist. It should be a persistent, it's consistent engagement. If we just do and let it slap, because maybe what I've seen in Liberia is people engaging leader, whether they are sincere. Some people decide to go and just engage leader because maybe they want something in their pocket. When that is done, let it go. That means you are not serious about that. You're just telling our leader, say, do more and give me some. I mean, people should be sincere in what they are doing. If you do so, at least, then you will be getting somewhere.
Okay. You talked about unity and tolerance. What is your scale of the level of unity among Liberians?
For now, I feel that Liberia, we are divided. If you listen to the favorite media's voting, the radio stations,
but having diverse opinions does not mean that people are divided.
Yeah, it is true. It is that's what the society call for.
Okay.
We should have diverse opinion. But people that have a diverse opinion, people will talk about this today and say this is not really good because I think that it should happen this way. And just out of the twinkling of an eye, that person see their interest doing similar things, say no, that's the best thing we should do. I think that's discrimination because the other person feel that they were not of your class, you spoke against them.
Okay.
And this time around, that your class peer are doing this, it should happen because it is good. No, there should be no form of discrimination in our country. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh.
People go to the they feel they have done some survey. I send people, I've asked people in the various workplace. There's a growing activity in the various workplaces. Because I'm from Lofa County, when we go to work, all of the Loma people there, we should have meeting. All of the Bassa people should have their own meeting. For me, I'm seeing it as a dangerous path.
No.
Yeah, we should look at the job side that we are Liberian. We should engage the job based on where we come from or what we understand. Look at somebody as a professional colleague and engage them, not because you are just my trap mate or you are my I don't know, you have some relationship, we all from the same church background, the religious background. No. We should look at people that they are Liberians and we should be in one boat and one plan of upgrading our country, having a better Liberia.
What do you think could be the root cause of this?
Interest.
Okay.
I say in one of my interests and conflict are parallel.
Okay.
People just want to get the biggest share of everything. That's the reason.
Okay. Let's talk about now. You talk about protecting our environment, given the scale of the challenges we have, the environmental challenges. What is the single most important action you believe every Liberian could take when it comes to let's say protecting the environment? What is that single but most important action you think Liberians can take?
Just be cautious of where you will drop your dye. Always before you throw that, you should know that you should have the belief that I'm coming to throw that away. So that means you should know where to place your dye. Lately I heard that the Chief Justice was trying to empower the police or what, or the city corporation that whosoever chose that in the street should be apprehended and other things.
Okay.
That is that I think it have overflowed. I was thinking in that direction. But if every citizen should just be cognizant that I'm drinking a plastic water. The plastic bag has also brought different structure in our country. Before in the 80s and other things, until we were drinking from the sacket of water, or from the sacket, we're all having barrels in our very home. And so now we're going to put something in can to carry to drink. But now because of the proliferation of this mineral water, people have that in their hands. You're sitting in the taxi cab as you drink, jogging in the street. You're walking in the street. You are not even aware of your environment. So we need to be aware of our environment. If we start to think in that direction, if I should put the plastic water bag or the empty sack in my pocket, when I reach to a trash can, I can dispose of this. If we start to think in that direction, then we are doing the protection of our community environment.
Okay.
If we don't do so, this plastic bag will also have impact on the soil. Tomorrow now, when we try to grow things, it won't be better, and we start saying, "Oh, now our country now produce." There are a lot of things that will happen. So everybody needs to be that. That's the little thing that I think everybody can be involved with.
Okay, so we'll take calls, but you also talk about leading by example, and you listed several actions like honesty, respecting others, keeping environment clean, paying taxes, and respecting the rule of law. Which one of these attributes do you think is currently the most challenging for Liberians to consistently practice, and why do you think so?
If you saw me, I said, why can't you be the first? Always wanting people to be the first. Let me see, let the person do it first before I know. As you said, honesty is the hallmark.
Okay.
It's good to admit to your wrongdoing. When you do so, I think just by admitting will make you to think that the next time you want to do, you say, I just said something over there. So I think I don't need to do this thing.
So which one is most challenging in Liberia that I think we do not consistently practice, and why do you think so?
As I said, honesty.
Honesty is a problem.
It's a problem. It's challenging, and because, as I said, of interest, people want to get everything for themselves, so they carry on dubious activity and try to lie, just do something to cool the system. Because they just want everything for themselves. That's being greedy.
But I also think that there is also a root cause for that. I also think it's because certain group of people or one set of people are measuring worth at the detriment of the others. So when the others there or are closer to that position, they think that I should get my share.
That's why I say, even in previous statement I said, somebody think that these things that were happening yesterday were never good. But today they are there, they feel it's good. That is, yesterday, the other people got worth and they have built mansions and other things. But today myself should get it. But one thing they forget to know, if you sit killing and start to observe those you think are doing these things, look at some of those mansions and other things that they are accumulating for themselves. How is it really playing well for them? So many people build mansions upon mansion. At the end of the day, when they leave government, they don't even have the money to maintain those things. They just lie in ruin. It's not good. So that should be speaking to our conscience that we need to change from these things and try to do the needful. Okay. Tell me, the money that you felt that you accumulate for yourself when you were in power at the time, you did all that, you took a build mansion. If you were just going to start thinking about your neighbors, that means your surrounding, those that need it, and improve them by them. Today, when you walk in the society, your face is up because you feel people will say, oh yeah, he was part of us. That person tried to make me, that person tried to do this. But you decided to just take it for you and your family.
Put it in your pocket.
Put it in your pocket.
Okay, let's take few calls and then we can call this a day. 0777 700 995 0555 995 995 are the numbers to call. Is on the OK Morning Rush, and we have in studio Mr. Thomas Waluba of the Thomas Waluba Foundation. He talked about how do we upgrade Liberia. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to Fatu, and good morning to my son brother in studio.
Okay, let's hear you.
Yes, my name is Martin Man, and I do Tuboro.
Okay.
Yeah, my brother was speaking, it touched my heart. That's we Liberian, we got to change mind and change attitude. Like, I was coming for balance, they coming to work. That's the thing, was talking about somebody was drinking the test and took a deck on the street. On the motorball, they put in the restaurant, and they join the plan, they attack my motorball in front of them, for them to pick up. The whole community can say, you body man, it's like it's fucking me. So, even want to friend me. How will we live here? What will we set our example? You can be working together because other men are another trying, you are another trying, and you're playing your own speed. Doing it in the favor of the organization, all the places that you're working, you're doing it. We Liberians, if we want for the country to be fair, the country will not be fair. The country will not just wait for all its own face. The attitude of the Liberian makes the country to be better. Okay. So, thank you. We have to lead us in the money. And the crowd won't be me. That was someone who got last on it there. They say, I'm not putting me. They want to hold me. I can't leave it. Let me go by my business, but we got to change all those things. You can't eat your dead on the street. Then you say like the country dirty. Thank you. Let me give the other people the opportunity to say Fatu.
Okay. Okay, thank you. 0777-700-995, are the numbers to call and be a part. Let's hear you. Good morning. Good morning.
Hello?
Hello, you're live. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Barnabas Where I call from Santa Monica.
Okay, Barnabas.
Yeah, thanks to your guests in studio. This thing just boiled down to us being just Liberian by nature. Because this political loyalty or party loyalty is bringing us down, Fatu. You know, sometimes as advocates we say these things in our homes, in our communities, to the forums, people just get angry with us because we are not just here for, political gains. Even the issue we are discussing this morning before the brother came in studio, we all boil down to loyalty to this country because we cannot keep giving our loyalty to individual or party. At the end of the day, our children's future will be uncertain because our future is already gone, and so we are looking at our children's future. There are other places of working government and things people steal, and you try to talk about it. People say that's where you have been, and you just come in fact, you're young, you cannot change things here, and it's just like that. So that's a bad thing we have placed ourselves in. Thank you for your show and allowing me. Thank you very much.
Okay. Let's take this one here. Good morning.
Good morning, Fatu. How are you?
I'm fine. What's your name?
Yeah, we asked one question a few minutes ago, the past and now. The past, Fatu, like how you employ now. You throw some of your worry away because you will go, once you get a salary every month, just go to the Lebanese store, you get furniture, you get electronic appliances, whatsoever you want. It's LPA, you pay every month. Brand new cars. Brand new cars today, you go to the garage, it's 2,005, 3,000, depending whichever car you want, up to 5,000, brand new car that nobody has sat in before to drive. Today we buy a rotting car for 8,000, 9,000, 10,000, 7,000. In the past, I could get on the road and just taxi. I'm going to Oro, they take me to my house. They're not going to drive me in the ring on the road. In the past, when they get their government check, your salary check, go to the supermarket and go buy it in cash anywhere to the gas pump. You give it to them, 500, 800. You have respect, you have value, you get government care anyway. For you just buy your pocket, you go buy the supermarket, just take your day, you go to the cashier, give it to them. In the top of the past, it was respectful because there was law and order.
Okay.
Nobody just going to stay so.
Oops. Your line is bad. We cannot continue with you. Let's take this one. Hello, caller.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Is this ODFM?
Sure, you're live. What's your name?
Yeah, Daniel S. Azariah. Good morning to my comrade studio.
Okay.
Good morning to my Waruba.
Yeah, good morning, brother.
Yeah, this is Azariah Daniel from Chidai Jason. Okay, I'm very proud of the initiative that you are going through. But based on the suggestion that you are making, there are a lot of factors that are contributing to that. One, our civil servants are not being paid well. Most who are in government after 25 years when they are working, they cannot even own a house. These are some of the problems that is contributing towards society. It is true. If you go to JFK is not a government hospital right now. JFK is very, very expensive. People steal all around the place. So there are a lot of factors, brother. There are a lot of things contributing to this. It's not looking at it from one perspective. It's still all our sectors.
Okay.
All our sectors. People go to government with the intention to steal. People go there to steal. When you want to try to do the right thing, people criticize you. That's it about Liberia.
Okay.
In all our sectors.
Okay, 0777-700-905. We take this one. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning.
You're live. What's your name?
Yeah, this is Jimmy from, I'm calling from New Jersey.
Go ahead.
You know, one thing that can really irritate me about our own country is that we like to waste time, procrastinate. How Ghana is clean, how other countries they are clean. Simply, they go by the rule of law. If you bring a plastic bag and drop it, you just put 1,000 secret color clothes security in the field.
Okay.
Even though you'll be spending more money to pay them maybe $50 even a month, but you will generate, because when one person is caught, or many people are caught, they must pay the fines. The first fines is like maybe $5,000 like $1, and second offense it might go higher. You will see that plastic bag will not be thrown the bin, banana peeling them will not be thrown out. At the same time, the government must secure some waste bins and place them to a proper places. But we're just talking this here years in, years out. Look at Maria. You just get out and see plastic bag all left and right on the road. So, the people in the authority need to do something about this, so that when we get back on the radio, we can start thinking our own self and start praising our own country.
Okay. Thank you so much. We take this and take one more and call this a day. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm Momo Kwaba.
Yeah, Momo.
Yeah, let me say thanks to the city guest this morning.
Okay.
And make my day.
Okay.
But Liberia to get standard Liberia to get input or to upgrade the system, it takes serious administration of leadership within our society today.
Okay.
Because it starts from home before you go to the top.
Okay.
Before that standard society, we got to start with ourselves on the horse first before. Because anything you build within the home, it carries us.
Okay.
So that's on the input.
Okay. We take this last caller and go back to Mr. Oloba. Hello, caller. Hello. Oops, we lost it, but we can take another one. Got this one. Hello. Good morning. Can you shake up a little bit?
Okay. Am I better now?
Yeah, you're better.
Let me say good morning to President Worldwide. Let me say thanks. So kindly for the foundation. Testimony about it only from the Business Capital.
Okay.
We've been following the efforts made thus far in keeping the foundation running. You know, it's not easy for an individual to run a foundation, huge impact. But we listen to some of your arguments there. All are right. But this is the kind of country we live in. Once it is not your kind of person you want to see in power, everything that happens in the past when they get everything that they will do or he or she does, one, it is your interest and you can get something from them. And because the whole country is self-dependent, there are no programs to develop the land or all of that because so everybody gets directed to politics. That is the way we are surviving. Because if you do not do the politics, you go your environmental science, you don't get anything with all the politics. And in politics now, they are changing like that. Sometimes you got to blackmail to get resources. Well, I know we can transform it, you plus me and Fatu and the rest. We consistently inform the system.
I know what they.
Education there. Only the education will help us out to starting the next generation, not this one, they won't fight all the time.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. We cannot take any more calls. We're sorry. Mr. Holubach, we come back to you. You listen to all of the callers, and they are just, enforcing what you said.
All right. Thank you very much to the 3 callers that have called. And this is my charge to them. I want to tell all of those people that listen to this station, OK FM, at this hour, Look, I want you to just decide as of today that you will do one positive thing every day in Liberia. If every Liberian should start taking in that direction as of now, just look at what your advantage is like. You say, based on my advantage, whether government, whether support or non-support, I will continue to do the positive thing for this nation. Trust me, we'll get somewhere very good. Thank you for the cause that you are sent in. Okay. If we cannot do these things as Liberian citizens, we say we should just wait on government to do all. We will remain this way. Next government will come, will remain the same. Following government will come, will remain the same, and will not utter well for us. There are people who depend on, or who are our unborn children are coming, their generation beyond coming. If you don't want them to hold you responsible for what happening, start to do something positive.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Woloba, for coming. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Mr. Thomas Woloba has been our guest. He is the CEO of the Thomas Woloba Foundation and also the ORC of the Grace of God Medical Clinic. Today we talked about upgrading Liberia and how we all can contribute to the upgrading process of Mama Liberia. My name is Fatu Kamaa.